Good morning, everyone. It is day 2 of our Back to Basics Inktober. It is almost 8 o'clock in the morning because I wanted to start this super early, and I did fix the time on here. I wanted to get this done because unfortunately yesterday's video is still uploading, and it's probably gonna set me back. I'm probably gonna put out these videos a day like after the actual day, so unfortunately my OCD is going to kick in, but it is what it is. So instead of just talking and making this harder on myself, let's just get into it. So the prompt for today is ears, which I am very excited about. Let us just kind of adjust here real quick. I also wanted to fix this format, that way you can actually see up closer a lot better. So we are just going to fill this page with some ears. So I do have the iPad again in front of me. Let's put that on. And I have some ears up here. I also made up some ink wash this time. I was trying to prepare myself a little bit better. That way I could actually get all this fit into one day, considering that I also have to work as well. So yesterday I kind of cut it a little bit close because I think I was finishing coloring the characters, which I'm not super proud of yesterday's prompt because I really should have pushed myself and done more realistic stuff, but I was kind of feeling off yesterday, and today I have a little bit of a better attitude. I was looking on Instagram and there's like a ton of absolutely gorgeous Inktober entries. Absolutely gorgeous. Like, it just amazes me how some people can put out such wonderful work so quickly. Okay, so there's a lot of highlighting and things going on with this ear in particular. So I want to try to capture that when we actually do ink wash. So I am going to just very strictly use ink wash, I think, for the rest of Inktober, just so I can use up all this ink. The less I have to pack for Ireland, the better. And I feel like the ink is going to give me a problem because all of the bottles will have to be taped shut. And I'm just afraid that perhaps maybe something might bust open and give me a problem. Alright, so I feel like that looks fairly decent as far as ears go. Like I said, a lot of this will be done in the ink wash. So let's ink first. I think I'm going to use a different nib today. We're going to use the big boy. Oh, I did finally get this open. So this has Blick Studio, Black Cat, I think it's called Black Cat ink. I think I've talked about this before. It's not my favorite ink. I feel like it's really watery and it's not very black. It's not as opaque as I would like it to be, but it is budget ink. Also, it could have been the type of paper I was using as well. So there's a lot of factors that go into the quality of ink that you're using. It's also cold today, so that is why I have the blanket. I'm also wearing my rubber wedding ring, my silicone rubber wedding ring. Goodness, that is very difficult to say for absolutely no reason in particular. I do have my coffee. I think this is the nib I normally use lately when I ink stuff. So I didn't do any warm-up whatsoever. We are just jumping right into Inktober, hoping for the best. Not really caring what turns out today. We just want to do some studies, which is what I wanted to do for my particular Inktober. So I'm not gonna like actually shade any of that stuff. That's all going to be ink wash. So I'm just trying to carve out the actual parts of the ear to ink. Because everything else is just going to be ink wash. Okay, I think that's what we're going to leave it at. Just cleaning off my nib over here and my water. Gonna put the lid back here. Okay. All right. I feel like this is gonna go fairly quickly, which I am absolutely okay with. Wow, that was really messy. Look at my hand already. What a travesty. Oh, that's the thing that I've been trying to do too. So, one of the things that I really lack is a very large vocabulary. I used to write a lot growing up. I just want to get some of this off so I don't ruin my paper. I used to write a lot growing up. Like a lot. And I felt like I had a decent size vocabulary for the 12-year-old that I was at the time. And the older I got, the less I wrote. And I feel like lately my creativity, it just isn't there anymore, which is quite unfortunate. Okay, I'm going to bring this over. So I noticed yesterday, after I was done inking, that the next couple pages were a little bit warped. So I'm going to put some watercolor paper underneath to try and protect the underlying pages a little bit. Okay, so we have our ink wash here. I'm going to try to be super careful. I'm going to take a sip of coffee though. It is getting cold, unfortunately. It is chocolate marshmallow. It is delightful. Okay, so we're going to start with our lightest ink over here, and we're just going to give the whole ear a good wash, except for the parts that I want to keep bright. So we want to kind of map out where all that is. So there's a highlight in this area that I want to keep. There's a little bit over here. There's one in this general section of the ear as well. And there's one down here. Okay. So now that those are all my white spaces, oh, there's one over here too. There's a little tiny one over here. I'm just kind of keep that in. So now that those are in there, I'm pretty much free to go about my business as usual. Actually, there's a little bit over here. There's a little residual lighting back here. So let's try our best to encompass that too. Okay, now we're good. Now we can kind of do a nice light wash across the ear, but I think I'm going to use a little bit of a bigger brush. I might talk a little bit more today than I did yesterday, just because it is early and for some reason I'm feeling chatty. Oh yeah, and I guess I should have let the ink dry. But you know, that could come up with some really interesting looking effects for us. That was another thing I didn't like about this. Oh, I just put in my highlight. Oh well. That was another thing I didn't like about the Black Cat ink in particular. I felt like it took a while to dry. And it just wasn't doing it for me. I just did not care for this stuff at all. I'm using my lightest wash of ink right now. I have a really hard time with scales, like tones of colors. That's one thing I have such trouble with. I remember when I was in college and I was taking an art class, because at the time I was like, I'm gonna study graphic design for no reason in particular. And because it was like 2015, I was definitely in a rut because I did not, this was like the start of the downfall of me not liking my job at the daycare. And what ended up happening for me was I kind of had like a quarter life crisis, as I like to call it. And I ended up taking classes at the community college. And I liked the classes, but the drawing class was interesting because I had really great teachers. And the teacher here, when we started doing like ink washes, she's like, okay, everybody get your ink and start making up your ink washes. Didn't explain how to do it. I had never done it before. It seemed like all the other kids knew what they were doing, and I was just like, what does she mean? Like, I don't know what I'm doing. And see, being a teacher, being in a background of teaching, I always like to tell people, explain it to me like I'm a 2-year-old. You know, I might try the next year without inking. Because I feel like those bold lines are nice, but I can definitely get away with not inking. That way I can cut down on the drying time. I love ink wash because it does seem to dry quickly, but it also stays put once you put it down. I mean, it does kind of feather like watercolor does, but it's ink, so I like it. I like it a lot. Okay, maybe I'm not going to be that talkative. I'm trying to focus now on these shadowy areas. There's quite a bit of lightness in this area here, so I really want to make sure that I keep that there. Oh man, this takes me back to when I did the 30 days, 30 ways thing last, oh my goodness, I can't believe it was last March. The very first day was a horse that was done in ink wash, and I am still to this day very proud of that horse, just because that was the first time I really truly felt like I understood ink wash. And I was studying, like I was really taking my time with that stuff for sure. I really wish I had like one of those really nifty like dryers everybody seems to have, those really cool heat guns or whatever people I seem to see using them when they draw. I really need to adjust myself here. Okay. I'm going for another mid-tone, and I'm just gonna start darkening. Excuse me if I burp today. I'm really gonna try to like edit as little as possible with these videos so that I can just put them up right away. But of course I have to put in like all of the like the little bottom bar that you see in the corner that has all the social media that I don't use. I am just so bad with that stuff. I really am. I'm not the kind of person who can sit on their phone all day. I mean, not that I'm saying people who are very active on social media sit on their phone all day, but I tend to not feel like I have to constantly be sharing things, but I don't really know. I just suck. I filled out the YouTube survey this morning because I was feeling frisky. They probably won't care. But I figured why not give it a shot. So these brushes are not the best. They were from Amazon, but ooh, that ear's looking pretty good. This is the first I've actually looked up in the viewfinder. They're okay. They're definitely synthetic. They're holding up well enough, but I really want to get some like better brushes for sure. I don't know if I'll get them before I move or after I move. I feel like shipping to the United States is a lot cheaper than shipping out of the United States, and actually that is a fact. But where was I going with this? Oh, so a lot of the companies that I use, like Blick, don't like the shipping is a lot more expensive in the UK, and I'm a little upset about that. Because that's where I'm headed. I'll have to find some good art stores over there. I really have no idea what I'm in for. I really don't when I move. If I move, I'm trying to be optimistic, but lately it's just not in my nature to be optimistic. Okay. Let's see, what does the viewfinder say? That's honestly looking kind of nice. And now I was a little worried because, like I said, I'm not very good at picking out tones. I was worried that I would have to like transform the image into black and white so that I could better pick out stuff, but I'm actually kind of glad that I didn't do that. So we're working on the next value here. didn't completely let those areas dry, but you know, we're working on an hour. I really do want to do just an hour study because there'll be less editing for me. I want to see how quickly I can put out videos, but I want to also make quality videos, not just, oh, I'm just going to put out a video to put out a video. I was rewatching some mini small vlogs the other day, and it just blows me away how absolutely gorgeous her vlogs are. Like, I look up to her videography style so much because it is just so good. Okay, this is starting to blur, so let's try and kind of pull that out a little bit. I really don't want that effect in this painting, but if I get that, it is what it is. I'm really feeling like I need some of these areas to dry, so just for now, we're gonna kind of move on. And I'll just pretend like I'll remember how to do this ear. I mean, it actually looks fine on its own, but this part right here needs to actually dry. I really wish I had a dryer, but I don't. So instead of talking and wishing and hoping, I'm gonna go ahead and save this ear. Come on. I really hate how, oh my gosh, no, I don't want to learn how to get bugs out of my ear. I want to save this picture. Ooh, save it. Yes, there we go. I am still really new to the iPad, and I don't know what I'm doing most of the time on it. And now it's like, yeah, I don't want to scroll now. Okay. There we are. Okay. What ear? Ooh, this is a very interesting looking ear. Okay. This looks like an older gentleman's ear. Let's go ahead. Okay, so we spent about 15 minutes on that last one. Not bad. So like I said, I'm just gonna completely not do the pen and ink process and just jump right in. This guy has a very long and skinny ear. So let's kind of put that in there. I think ears are very interesting because no two ears are alike. Like, even if your ears, even your own two ears are not symmetrical on your body, on your head, as it were. I might clean up this sketch a little bit before I actually do the inking. This is very interesting. I like this ear. Ooh, I should do like a pierced ear. We can do that. We have the power. This is a little bit bigger. So I'm not completely going for, what's the word here? Like, accuracy, that's the word. I'm not going for complete accuracy here. I really just want to get the idea down as quickly as I can with as much detail as possible, but like I said, we are on an hour schedule, so we don't want to spend too much time. This person has a very interesting ear. It's very interesting. Like, this ear was very interesting, but this is very interesting. Okay, so come up here. I should learn the biology of the ear. Like what all these folds and flaps are actually called. Like, I feel like after I did that study of ears a while ago, I felt like my ear game when I was doing OCs was just on point. I was like, yeah, I know how to draw ears. And then, what kind of ears do you guys have? I have the not connecting, like, ear flap. Like, my earlobe, the bottom, mine, like, go like this. So, we'll pretend. So mine go like that. Like, and they connect right here to my head. Whereas my husband's, they connect like at the bottom. So I think that's really interesting. I love that sort of silly biology. Okay, I think that's everything. I'm not gonna put in the little random hairs. I might if I remember to, like when I actually ink, but for right now we're not gonna do that. All right, bring this back, kind of adjust here. Take a sip of coffee. I'm actually really liking this so far. All right, 40 minutes. We are trucking along. Okay, I did say I was going to clean this image up. Let's take our little thing here. Just kind of clean up some of the lines of the sketch. Because the color erase pencils, if you have been here a very, very long time, I used these back in the day when I was a Pokemon speed paint channel. And I found that these are somewhat water soluble, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but if you are looking for a really clean watercolor, you don't want to mess with that kind of funk, you know? Like I didn't really appreciate having like pink mixed in with like my Tyranitar or whatever. I didn't do Tyranitar, but I am going to add a little bit more depth and darkness to this one first. I need to put this somewhere where I'm not going to bop into it. Down here. There we are. That's better. Oh, that's nice. Yes, this part of the ear for this one was a little bit darker up top. Just clean my brush a little bit. Kind of drag that down. Okay, and then I'm going to work on that little bit in there because that was very, very dark in here. I think I'm just going to do the same thing and drag it down. I did not bring more water. Crap. I might have to actually refill my water container. I think that looks actually pretty good. Pretty nice. I'm pretty happy with how that looks. Okay. So this person had a darker skin tone. This person has a very light skin tone. So we don't need to do nearly as much. I am still going to tone this person's ear just because I like that kind of thing. But I am going to, again, block out where my highlights are so I don't go over them. But I probably will because that's just what I do apparently. There's one in here. This is actually really fun. Like, I have been dreading, absolutely dreading Inktober. Because every year, I never know what to do. And I just never know what to do. And I always feel bad. Like last night I was like, man, look at everybody's Inktobers. Everybody's Inktobers look amazing. And I'm here doing like studies that people should be doing. Like artists should be studying like every day. And almost every day I don't study. I watch Netflix. Or Hulu. Actually recently I was getting back into Hey Arnold. And I love that show. That show, growing up, was everything. I didn't really care for SpongeBob too much. Even now, I don't really care for SpongeBob. I feel like it's a little bit overrated. I know that the creator passed away in the last year, and that's unfortunate. Because honestly, he did contribute a show that has touched many, many, many people across many countries, and that is honestly incredible. You don't really hear that kind of praise for like other shows. I mean, maybe Sesame Street, but I mean, like for a very vulgar cartoon, that's impressive, you know. Okay, we're just getting the lightest wash down. Gotta work on that inner ear here. This is gonna be a little bit deeper, but getting everything in there. Good. Okay. I probably should have taken the pencil marks out a little bit more, but it is what it is, you know? All right, we are gonna work on the next value. which is going to be hard for me to decide because, like I said, I'm not good at picking out tones. And I keep burping, so I am so sorry because I'm not going to edit them out. I'm trying my best to hold them in, but better out than in, as Shrek says. I am so glad that I'm inking, like using an ink wash, because all year, ever since I spilled this bottle of ink all over my desk, I told myself, I am going to do ink washes. I'm going to do it. Do you think I ever did it? Of course not. Because why would I actually do art? It's not like it's what I want my job to be or anything. I guess I just get not motivated because I feel like I can't seem to crack the social media code at all. It just doesn't feel good whenever you're like following somebody. I feel like, oh, this part is a little bit inaccurate, but I can't talk. I was following another fellow artist, and we both had about the same amount of followers for a while. And you know, one day their art really took off, and now they're at like 30,000 followers, and I'm still at 200. And it just doesn't feel good when you're left in the dust and you're just like, what do I have to do? Like, what about my workflow, or what about my style do I have to change to up my game, up my visibility? I do know I actually have to be more prolific and more serious about actually doing art. Ooh, that's a little bit dark. That's more dark than I was thinking it was. So I'm just gonna go back to this. Woo! Did not need to get that dark that quickly. I'll probably just focus on the other until I get to that inner ear area. Yeah, that's she dark. Let's just kind of, yeah, let's blot that out because don't need that. Don't need that at all. I need that on the inner part. I don't need that right there. Let's go up here. Oh, now it doesn't want to be dark. There we are. Oh, so anyway, like I said, comparing yourself to other artists, it really is bad. But it's also hard not to. Because, you know, you see somebody, and I was 100% happy that somebody was successful, like an artist, you know, started being successful on Instagram. Especially with somebody with such an interesting art style as her. Oh, I went over my highlight, but whatever. Because this artist has a very cartoony art style. And yeah, they actually do draw every day. So, or at least, you know, they're prolific enough that they are contributing to social media consistently. All right, we're at a half an hour left. We've got 2 ears. And then I have to have the fun time of editing. I actually don't mind editing, but it is frustrating whenever you really just want that video to go up. Especially we have the world's slowest internet. The world's slowest internet. And it is so difficult to do anything with it. I kind of felt bad last night because when my little brother comes home from work, since he works second shift, all the kid wants to do is he works a very stressful job. All he wants to do is come home and like play video games, which he's more than welcome to. Yes, after the kind of work that he does. And I always feel bad because the time of night that I like to load or upload is at night. I'm gonna go ahead and work on another ear while this part dries because I need to keep deepening. So we're gonna save this one. Come back to it later if I need it. Let's work on another ear. I'm not sure how many ears I'll get done today. Ooh, this one has interesting ears. Ooh, this person has like, kind of like wrinkled ears. Ears provide new way of identifying people in airports. Oh, you know what? You know what? Ugh, this is so creepy. This person has like gauges, or people are cutting out the insides of their ears. Oh no, we don't want that. Ooh, this person has a good ear. Okay. It's a little blurry on the screen, but I feel like I can replicate it. So this one is also somewhat of a long ear. This is also an older person ear. Older people have the coolest ears because like your skin is constantly changing. I don't know why I'm so fascinated with ears for this Inktober. Some people, okay, so some people don't like feet. And some people might not, like, some people don't like the way that feet look. Feet is one of my prompts for my Back to Basics Inktober. And I don't mind feet. Like, I can look at them. But I do think that some feet, well, it's unfortunate for me to say this. Some feet are more attractive than others, you know? I mean, it is personal preference. You're allowed to like what you like and all that, but I feel like, I mean, you can be body confident and everything, but people are still gonna judge your appearance because appearances are whatever. I don't know. I'm dumb. Oh, this ear is so cool. Like, they have like just, I don't know. There's like definitely some stuff going on with this ear that I find very interesting. So all ears have like this little structure here. And they always have like this little flappy-doo here. There's a lot of shading going on in that area. And I gotta remember to, there's shading going on here. I really need a tissue, but I don't want to get up because it'll ruin it'll ruin everything. There's a lot of highlight going on over here, and there is, I'm probably going to do this section. I'm going to lightly pencil it in, but there's like a lot of stuff going on. It's right here. Starts right here. But yeah, what am I saying? There's a lot of stuff going on in this section. I didn't quite capture it as accurately as I could, so let me fix all this. But I'll probably just go with it. Yeah, this whole section here is really cool. Okay. I'll just have to highlight it with my cool skills of inkwashiness. Okay, going in with that lightest wash. And once again, now there's a lot of highlighting going on here. So I am going to like be really careful with all of that. Like there's just a lot going on. It looks really neat. It might be because of the flash that this person used to photograph this ear, but it looks so cool. Okay, where else do we want to go? So this part is darker, so we're safe in there. We're okay up here. This section's deep and dark. And then this area, so this area kind of like curves down. And it it's so interesting. Like, I don't know why. Like, I feel like these are a little bit harder to do too. Okay. And then on the rim of the earlobe, there's some highlighting. This person has very thin earlobes. Some people are like, oh, I didn't quite clean up my pencil lines, but that's okay. Okay. That looks pretty good. There's a lot of wrinkles and stuff going on that I could highlight over in this section, but that's a little much. So I'm gonna just go with what I got and just start emphasizing things and going in. Going for it. Okay, let's go with the next wash. And go in here. There's a little bit going on here. Okay, I didn't do that as accurately as I thought, but that's okay. I might actually let this dry a little bit and go back to this ear and the other ear. The other ear really needs to get those deep parts in. This is very, very black right now. Very, very black ink. Probably didn't need to go that dark, but it is done. What's done is done, my friends. Yeah, that didn't quite dry very nicely, did it? That's the other thing about any wet medium, particularly watercolor and ink wash. You always get like, you can always suffer from these harder, cauliflowery edges. I probably could have went black here, but I didn't. So let's change that. That's better. Because this part was very, very black. This part was definitely black. But we will fix that. Just kind of blur that little tail end out. 23 minutes. Wow. Time just flies by when you are having fun. When you are inking ears. I do need to go back in with the lighter wash here and fix these areas that I didn't quite do as accurately. And I'll go in with that one too while this one dries again. There's like a nice deep part there. I feel like I didn't quite capture it. I'm like quiet all of a sudden because I'm like really trying to focus on these interesting folds over here. If I would have drawn it a little bit more accurately, I would be having so much trouble, but you know what, I'll go a little bit darker. Okay, let's go in with this ear. So there were some parts up here that were darker. There we are. this area was a little bit deeper. And then that inner part. So our air conditioning has been on all morning, but when I needed it most last night, it wasn't on. I wake up sweating most of the time. Okay, I am gonna drink a little coffee here. It has become iced coffee. Oh, by the way, that wasn't a fart. It was that. I love those little silicone cup covers. I got them originally because I thought they were super cute. And if you've known me a while, if you've known the channel, I've talked about it briefly, but I do absolutely love and adore Lolita fashion, which is a fashion from Japan. And I do own quite a few dresses. I always thought maybe one time, just once, I would like wear, it's not a costume, but most people think of it as one, like, you know, outside people, outside of Lolita. People are like, oh, you're dressed like Little Bo Peep or whatever. That actually gets on a lot of Lolita's nerves. It doesn't really bother me in particular because, like, I get it. They don't know what it is. They don't know that it's clothing meant to be worn every day. So I don't get mad at people about that kind of stuff. Because why? But yeah, I thought about wearing it on this channel as like a Halloween, like something fun for Halloween, but I didn't want some of the other Lolitas to get mad at me for portraying it as a costume. But this is the time of year where it is very popular to wear it because, you know, it's normal for people to be in costume this time of year. So I feel like you would fit in a lot better if you were wearing it. I have worn Lolita for Halloween many times. Because I feel most confident wearing it around this time, or like to like costume parties, because then people are like, oh, she's just in a really cute outfit. I'm having a very hard time portraying this ear. Because there is a lot of highlighting, I'm kind of getting messed up as to where I should put tone and where I shouldn't. And that's why we practice, isn't that right? That's why we practice this stuff. I'm gonna go in a little darker. That way, I feel like it's easier for me to start with darks than it is to start with lights, but you're not supposed to do it that way, I guess. I don't know. This needs to dry. I might work on another ear since we have 15, a little over 15 minutes. Yeah, because we can come back. Because there isn't much I have to do with that ear. It's just deepening some stuff. So, saving this one. I am loving this. I'm in like my zone right now. I'm absolutely loving this this prompt. This is making me super happy. Go in this one again. I think this one's my favorite ear right here. For sure. Okay, that section I want to like put the eardrum. This section I feel like looks fairly done. I am going to blacken this a little bit more and then kind of wash my hands of this one, because there's not a whole lot more I can do with that without absolutely screwing it up. I actually feel like this one's the worst one because all the tones are a little bit flat. There's not much dimension going on unless it's in this section here. I wonder if I can fix that. Just kind of do some maintenance. Like do a little bit of fixing here. Over here. Because, you know, I worked really hard on this ear. It should be allowed to shine. Oh, I just went over some highlight. Whatever. That looks a little bit better. Okay. We're gonna work on another. This might be the last one. This is definitely probably gonna be the last ear we do. I think I'll just sketch this ear. And I'll just, I'll work on the other ink washes. So this one's just gonna be purely sketch. This looks like a young person's ear. Okay. So this I want to make just a pencil sketch. So let's use black. Black would be good. Okay, so this person. See, this is the kind of ear that I have. One that like has a little tail. Man, like, ears have such personality. I've really been liking this. This has been really fun. About right here. Cause like you can have like a thicker earlobes, you can have thinner earlobes, you can have very simple looking ears, you can have really intricate looking ears. You can apparently put holes in your ears like those crazy people. Not like they weren't gauges or like, you know, holes for earrings. These were like actual chunks of their ear just taken out for absolutely no reason. It was a now that's another thing I'm not really good at is pencil drawing. I mean, not like sketching, but I mean like shading and the like. Make sure that's still on. Because I, for the longest time, didn't realize you could like do this and shade that way. I was always like trying to shade like this, but you need to use the tooth of the paper to your advantage. You know? So like, you know, something like this will give a really nice shading effect. And then you have to like, and then you can like use your fingers and kind of like blur it out, which is why I really love charcoal. I don't use it very often, but I do like charcoal. The reason I don't use it often is because I hate how messy it is. Yeah, I don't like the mess. Or you could use like those little paper sticks. But I figure, you know, my fingers are just as good. I might as well use my fingers. When I did ears last time, I did colored pencils. And I really liked it. Ooh, I kind of like that. Look at that! So fancy. It's like I kind of maybe know how to draw a little. Very dark up here. Very dark in this section up here. Okay, and then it's kind of difficult down here because I need to like use this side. Ugh. Okay, let's try. This is a new challenge for me. Right-handed shading. Okay, didn't do so bad. I just gotta take it real slow. Try not to bump in or put my hand in my ink. Okay, we're done with that. I'll just go like this. We'll just pretend we know what we're doing. Okay. Those are still giving me a hard time drying. I didn't think well, I mean, this is only a multimedia sketchbook, so it's not really made for... I mean, it is kind of... It can hold, obviously, up to some water media, but wet media. But it's not particularly the best for it. I do love mixed media sketchbooks. Actually, this is my first one. This is the first mixed media sketchbook I've ever bought. Because I wanted to try it out, and I actually really, really like it. I like how nice this paper is. Okay, I do want to deepen this area more. It's actually really cool looking. And then, yeah, this person has a very fair skin tone, so whenever people have very fair skin tones, I never know how to shade. I don't know how far I have to shade in order for me to capture that they have a fair skin tone without making them look like they have a deep skin tone. Like this ear was pretty easy for me because I'm like, oh yeah, this person's got a deep skin tone. That's easy. You know, I can portray that. But then when it comes to like stuff like this, I'm like, oh, I don't really know what I'm doing. I do like how this ear's turning out. Yeah, I kind of like that. Okay. I'm gonna go back to the inking. Since we just have 10 minutes, let's do some final touches with these other ears. Really solidify the darkest parts. Really make sure that they are standing out as best as they can. And then after this, I get to edit and upload and then go about my day, because I do work today. And then I'm off the next 2 days, and then I work on Saturday. So I am going to cheat. I will let you guys know. I am going to cheat. I am going to do some Inktobers ahead of time. I know, blasphemy, how dare you. But I am going to the beach with my Nana, and I would rather enjoy, you know, doing the beach thing and not worrying, oh my gosh, I need to get all this Inktober crap done. My life is already hectic as it is, and I really need that for myself. So I apologize if I break the illusion, but I figure it's best for you guys to know, hear it from me personally, that yes, I am cheating. So on a Thursday and Friday, I'm going to do 2 Inktobers, possibly even 3, and just get them scheduled ahead of time. That way they're done. Because I leave on October 12th to fly down to Myrtle Beach, and I'll be there for a week, so we will drive home on the 19th of October. I'm very excited. I love the beach. I was really happy when my mom mentioned it to me. She said my Nana requested my presence personally as her beach accompaniment. And I could not wait. So she actually drove down with a friend, but the friend is leaving soon. And then I'm going to replace her. Oh no! It's okay. I really am glad that I chose this black wood green. Because it's not going to show anything crazy. Now, I feel like I deepened this area way too much. And I can't take it back. Just like in life. Okay, let's deepen that part there, because that was a thing. Yeah. See, this is like all flat here. I need to fix that. I shouldn't have made that so flat in there. Here, I'll put a little deepness here. Maybe that'll kind of help solidify that. Make it look like it's not flat. This is a concave. That looks a little better. I mean, it's not perfect or anything. Okay, now this ear, we have 6 minutes. 6-ish minutes to really get this ear the way we want it. So I'm gonna, where's my gallery on this thing? I'm very, very new to the old iPad here. I don't really know where things go, where they save to. There we are. Okay. I tried playing around with it, but you know, you can only do so much. Okay, gonna deepen these parts a little bit more. I'm guessing this person's eardrum is somewhere in here. Beyond the folds, as it were. Kind of really get these folds, like really, really nail these shadows. Because they are very interesting shadows. I feel like I'm not doing it justice though. I probably could draw with ink, like with a brush. I could actually brush with ink if I felt confident about it. I haven't really thought about it, honestly, using like a brush pen for inking. What else can I do? I think I'm going to do this one since I was good and actually didn't pile on the ink in there. That looks neat. Looks very neat. Very, very happy with how these turned out. Very happy. Happy with myself for actually showing up. Because man, last year it was like such a chore to do Inktober. It really, really was. I was not happy. Like every day I'm like, great, what am I gonna I'm just gonna say it. What am I gonna half-ass today? Because I just couldn't. It was so hard, you guys. It was so hard. Because I didn't want to do any of my prompts. They all had to do with llamas. And I was like, ugh. And then I think my husband was here that September. And yeah, he was here last September. So I was trying to think of all these prompts and stuff. And he actually ended up leaving the first... I think it was the first couple days of October he left, and then of course I was in a funk because, you know, my husband just left. So it wasn't a fun time. Hello? Okay, 2 more minutes. You know what? I feel, this has to dry anyway, but I feel pretty good with what I got done. But I will work on this one because we do have 2 minutes and we should just make it count. So let's really, oh, I can bring that up. Bring it back up. There we are. Let's really focus on really getting this. Really nailing these shadows on this form. And then I can go about my day and feel really good. Feel really good about the productivity, the practice. That's what this is all about. This is about practice. This is about getting back in touch with my drawing, just feeling better about actually doing it for once. Not worrying about what other people are doing. This is for my own benefit. Because not every artist is on the same level, and I should not feel bad about it all the time. You know, like, it's so easy. I've had this conversation before, but it is so easy to be negative. It is very difficult to be positive. So when, you know, people say look on the bright side, you know, maybe try it for once. Your attitude might improve a little bit. Okay, we are getting down the last minute, y'all. How do you feel? How do I feel? I feel pretty good. I feel pretty good. I'm ready to get up though, for sure. I'm really definitely ready to get up. Really don't like sitting. My back is a little bit sore. I have to go to the bathroom. My coffee's cold. But you know what? It's a sunny day. I'm gonna go to work to make money. And we got our Inktober done for the day. We got our Inktober prompt done. And you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and call it. This was day 2 of our Back to Basics Inktober. See? Yep. We did it. We freaking did it. So we're just gonna sign Noel. Today is October 2nd. Okay. We are done. Inktober day 2, Back to Basics, Inktober, ears. I feel really good. I feel really, really good. These look great. I'm so happy. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I'll catch you tomorrow.